Ooh, what up, dog? Now this one surprised me. Dawgface interviews Jesse James. Now I ain't really heard Jesse James say that much since he dropped that "It Is What It Is" CD. I was surprised Jesse James had put out an actual CD. To be honest, I thought he was just a Joy Road gangster hustler type of dude. In Detroit, in how can I say this? In Detroit, everybody got rapper homies. And sometimes you get the street dude or the shooter in the studio and he want to spit a verse too. I thought Jesse James was like that. But when he dropped that "It Is What It Is," he had a couple cuts on there. I couldn't believe it. So make no mistake about it. Jesse James known as a real one. You know what I'm saying? Um, we all didn't fell short of the glory of God here and there. So they ain't saying he did everything perfect. Far as I know, he ain't got no mustard on his jacket. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never been a soft shoe. And he ain't did no brick baby style tattletelling. He ain't did none of that. His name is really his name. And that's that. Same thing with Dawgface. Y'all know I mess with Dawgface. He's a good brother. Uh, I haven't actually met Dawgface. You know what I'm saying? But we kind of communicated through comments and things like that on different posts that either one of us made. You know, by me having a couple different YouTube pages, I don't know if he know I'm that same person on both, but I mess with Dawgface. And really why I mess with Dawgface is when that BG situation happened. Now BG is a factor in Detroit. He's damn near a Detroit native. As a matter of fact, he probably actually got a Detroit ID. You know what I'm saying? He was more so plugged in with the cats over there on Schoolcraft, but he finagled through the whole city. But when the thing happened, when everybody was hating on BG, I had did a story that got a lot of views. You know what I'm saying? Which is just my own interpretation. You know, which where basically I just expressed that I do think what BG did was distasteful, but by no way, shape, form, or fashion did he violate street code. You know what I'm saying? But the code that he did apply, I do feel like it's a distasteful code because if you got legit people around you, you should never have them taking a charge. If you got somebody that's not a felon in your crew, they can have legal guns. So we need to have the wherewithal. You can't be a boss and not utilize your pieces on the board properly. And that's where I felt BG messed up at. Because if you got a dude riding with you that's clean like that, he should have a legal gun, especially if he down for you like that. But I digress from that. You know, Dawgface is an equal opportunity ass kicker. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no problem giving somebody a fuck nigga file or none of them type of things. So when I saw this come across, I thought this would be great for me to react to, especially seeing how all of them haters out there where they at want to know why Juan-o don't do Detroit stories. I do all type of Detroit stories. But when I get on my Black Gerardo stuff, I'm responding to the stories that the people that watch my channel are interested in. Because my loyalty is not to you. My loyalty is to them 8,000 people that click on my channel every day, that saw it important enough to subscribe, or them 1,800 people on my other channel that watch it every day, or the 25 people that's on that channel I just created last time they demonetized me. That's where my loyalty is to, and to myself. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, let's get into this because people get it confused. You know, they want you to be partial to bullshit, but it's like you don't support me. And then even with the people that support me, they would never ask me to be partial to bullshit. So I'd rather rock with them because they gonna be here. And then they not asking me to be nothing but my best self. And somebody holding me to being my best self is something I can respect. I can love that. But somebody's trying to hold me to be their version of something, I can't fuck with that. Can't stand on that.
I woke up and I looked. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Now, for any of y'all that's confused, I don't know why he ain't got his dogs on. The dude in the green sweater is Jesse James. I don't know why Dawgface ain't got his cardies on either. He's in violation for that. He's supposed to have his buffs on for that. But I digress. He down there in Atlanta. Sun might be different. Maybe the buffs don't transition and he got his sunglasses on. Not sure. Maybe it could be them damn studio lights too. Studio lights is a motherfucker. So we ain't even gonna get on Doggy about his glasses. But he ain't got his dogs on. Now that nigga said if you see him without his dogs on, he might be robbing. But he got that big ass Cuban link on, so maybe he ain't robbing. Let's get back to it. So dog is on this side. Jesse is on that. Oh damn, they got the names on there.
What's going on here? Right. I started looking around, called, made a couple of inquiries. Like, man, who got on Jesse Bass side? What the fuck is going on? You made the video that I showed. I showed my audience the dog pounds, what I call the subscribers to Dawgface TV. I don't call them chat. I call them members of the dog pound. So so immediately you made a video and you talked about like giving the fans of hip hop, of Detroit hip hop, some information, and that everybody wants to know, but for some reason nobody's willing to talk about it. Mm-hmm. When you think about the issues that transpired specifically between Rock Bottom and the Streetlords, the Streetlords versus Eastside Cheddar Boys.
Rock Bottom is another West Side group. Streetlords was a rap group of mostly hustlers. Rock Bottom was a rap group of mostly rappers that was funded by a hustler. Now, that ain't to say it wasn't no street niggas in Rock Bottom. That ain't to say it wasn't other people getting money in Rock Bottom. But being a kid at that time, a teen at that time, that's how I looked at them. How about we put it like that? And let's not forget, one of the earlier videos in my channel, where me and Dawgface had first had correspondence, was with the T-Dot Reigns guy. Now I gotta always be 100. T-Dot Reigns was a part of Rock Bottom. His name is Mud in the city. He been touching little girls, and motherfuckers wasn't saying shit about it. The little girls was keeping it a secret, and so was the niggas that knew. When Dawgface put the story out there, everybody was making excuses. Then when I reacted to Dawgface putting the story out there, people jumped in my comments for more information. Sad case. But I'm not gonna necessarily let that sully the names of the other guys in the group, because Rock Bottom and Streetlords, both crews were compiled of people from different neighborhoods. So just because we meet up and rap together, and I'm from Joy Road, that don't mean I know what you're doing over there on Dexter. I know what you do when we meet at the studio in Southfield, but I don't necessarily know what you got going on Dexter. Now your homies on Dexter may know, but I don't necessarily know. Ain't nobody told me. I'm not privy to that information. I ain't giving nobody a pass, but I got to throw that in there because people like to, when you do a video like this, people like to go through your channel and look at other stuff, and then they try to, so ain't no contradiction in Juan-o. I'm straight up and down like 6 o'clock. And if you on the wrong side of the time, that's just on you, baby.
When you talk about the Streetlord Wines, the Blade Icewoods, the Wipeouts, the Tough Tones, when you talk about, we bring these men name up, everything is very hush hush. When they bring your name up, everything's very hush up. Hush. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to comment on it. None of that shit. So in my mind, I'm like, man, that's some hell of a shit going on over there. You know what I'm saying? It was some hell of a shit. So let's start off in what would be the most unusual place. I don't even want to get into all of the Streetlords versus anybody. I don't even want to get into the video you made that sparked the uproar, right? I want to get into all things Jesse James first. Tell us, first of all, what hood you from?
Joy Road, exit 9, come up off the freeway from Southfield to River Woods is mine.
Okay. So you were exit 9. So one thing about the west side of Detroit is carved up into different zones, but one of the most prideful zones, one of the most prideful areas of the west side of Detroit is Joy Road. That exit 9. Motherfuckers don't even say Joy Road. Motherfuckers don't even, where you from? They don't even say West Side. When you ask a Joy Road nigga where you from, they don't say West Side.
We don't say West Side, we say Joy Road.
They say Joy, they say exit 9.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. They about to miss something. Or maybe they ain't about to miss it. But I'm gonna throw it in. He said from Southfield to Livernois. Joy Road is Joy Road, but it's two different sides, even though they both on the west side. It's the Joy Boy side, which is west of Southfield, and it's the road nigga side, which is east of Southfield. Now, I know this because a lot of my older homies are from Joy, and some of my homies that's my same age are from the Joy Boy side, and some of my homies that are older than me are from the road nigga side. And don't you get that shit confused. Know which one you talking to, because motherfuckers will get offended like everybody's supposed to know. And I guess you supposed to know. That's why Juan-o is telling you so. And that's why he just specified which side he from. Now, if Joy Road is at a car show and some shit pop off, then them niggas is all together. They all together then. But in conversation, two different neighborhoods. Two.
Where the Murder Mac at?
Yes. And I do not go there. And I think I'm tough. I don't want no Big Mac that bad.
I be going there for lunch, Dawgface. It ain't that bad. The food might kill you before the niggas do. You do need to mind your business there, and the cops will beat the shit out of you over there. And hey, no,
it ain't no Big Mac in the world to have me go over there with them disagreeable ass niggas. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm trying to give me some fries. Number 7. Number 7 is the fish meal. I ain't got time to get stuck up, robbed, shot by no goddamn McDonald's. That's exactly what the fuck you gonna get if you keep fucking around.
You stop at the Murder Mac.
Keep fucking around over there and find out. And you fuck around and find out. So you're exit 9 Joy Road alumni. Tell us what it was like growing up in that environment. And was it as bad when you were coming up as it is reported to have been?
Yeah. See, I was born on the east side. I moved to the west side when I was 7 years old.
Hold on. Little known fact that nobody knows. So the west side representative, Mr. Joy Road, Mr. Exit 9 himself, you were born on the east side of Detroit.
On Baldwin and Vernus. I was born in Hustle Hospital.
Me too.
Played for the East Side Raiders.
Oh, that's Junior's team.
Hey, listen. I don't think people knew that.
No, they never know that. I went to Bustle. I went to Ferry. I went to I can't think of all that shit. Bell. I can't remember all that shit, bro.
So
but I came from the east side. We moved every month on the east side. Every time the rent was due, we moved.
That's some east side shit too.
Mm-hmm.
So Jesse James, the west side representative, is originally born and raised, at least in part, on the east side of Detroit. See, brother, that's why you probably so fucked up. Now, I'm not saying that Joy Road didn't contribute to your shit, but I don't give. Well, I moved at 7, 8. That's enough. Living on the east side of Detroit for your first 7 years is enough to fuck you up.
Mm-hmm. We stayed in the Black Bottom.
Say the Black Bottom. Is that a known fact that you were originally from the east side, bro? Or is it overshadowed by the fact
that only people know that really is like Wipeout and them and all with my connection to the east side. That's how I had my connection to the east side, because I came from the east side. And when I was on the west, we used to always go back and mess with Michael Jordan, Rome, Eastside G, Mo Green, Lonnie Bell, all them. I used to fuck with all them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So listen, Joy Road, is it as bad as we hear tale of it for you? Was it a terrible experience for you?
Yes. All my friends died from headshots, and they all was Joy Boys. That's how bad it was. All of them dead, and there's a couple of them doing natural life. But all my right hand mans that grew up with me, Joy Boys, all of them died headshots.
All of them.
All of them.
So growing up on Joy Road, right? Were you aware of the poverty, and were you aware of the violence, or were you aware of how bad it was, or because you were living in it, it seemed so terrible?
No, see, it didn't seem so terrible, like far as poverty, but the crime and the violence was always there because we was always beefing. Like we was some little Joy Road niggas, and we was all little, and we had so much love and unity that it's like everybody wanted to go against us. You know, when you see a bunch of love and a crew of niggas that's tight, somebody want to challenge that. Somebody want to try to say, man, you say them Joy Boys, the nigga gonna say, oh, them Joy Girls. You know what I'm saying? Is somebody gonna always try to disrespect y'all the talent y'all. So we was beefing and shooting at 12 or 13. Like my first really shooting was at Cody High School. You know what I'm saying? We was walking down the street, a nigga hollered out the classroom window and said, look at them Joy Girls, y'all some hoes. And I had like a 2.5 and I bust into the school. Like pop, 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 pop. We took off running.
Hey, Streetlord Jesse James. Have you ever heard of the saying? It's an old saying called "Sticks and stones may break my bones." That ain't no shit that you know.
Yeah, no. I know that. I know that.
Yeah, but
I know that saying very well.
Yeah, so you wasn't drawn up on that kind of shit.
No, hell no.
That obviously not. All right, so growing up on Joy Road, bro, did you grow up in a musically inclined family? What was your earliest musical experiences?
See, my musical experience came from like I said, we were so tight and all we you know, I've been smoking weed since 9. So our thing was always sitting in the car smoking and riding around and listening to the radio and playing cassette tapes and listening to the hottest music. You know what I'm saying? That's out. That's all what we did as young niggas. You got to have the hottest music. I got to be able to put you up on the hottest song that you ain't never heard. You know what I'm saying? That's how that came about. So when it came about, I always used to try to learn every record to the song. You know what I'm saying? Like every my niggas would be like, God damn, every word to the song. So my niggas always in the car like, damn, here this nigga go again. But nigga, I'm trying to learn. I'm singing every song. Then I start learning how to time myself and start freestyling. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, if Pac finna come on with a verse, I'm a freestyle. The chorus gonna come on, I'm a freestyle, and I know how to time myself and stop right when the chorus come on. You know what I'm saying? So I started practicing that first, and I just kept going.
Man, that's a hard way to learn how to rap too. I can't really rap over another nigga rapping, man. When I first started, my little brother's father's a DJ, so shit, I had access to instrumentals, and well, I always had access to instrumentals. That's pretty much what that is. You know, I helped my stepfather build his record collection. He probably got one of the most valuable record collections ever. And when he died, his family stole that shit from my little brother. My mother didn't tell me he died because I was at work. You know, she didn't want me to leave work and go be there, which I would have. My little brother had to deal with all that on his own. I don't think that was cool. And the motherfucker stole my stepdaddy record. I know it's a whole lot of jokes about give me back my daddy records, shit like that, but I really do want my daddy records back. Damn it, I done pissed myself the fuck off.
Going, and then Bone Thugs came out with that hard ass style, and you know that was real challenging to try to learn what Bone say. So I had learned all the words to Bone.
I pissed myself off a couple times in the day, man. I'm trying to get better with it. I don't know why I just thought about this, but I guess how he talking about how he started rapping. I'm telling you how I started rapping. That's how my stepfather being a DJ, how he used to mix. That's also I rap like how he used to mix. I gotta ride the rhythm. I gotta ride the beat all the way. Not like a flow rider, because flow rider will sing or enunciate or stretch his words in such a way to give himself that ride through. Hell no. My flow gotta be like that, like Rakim, like my my flow has to be like an instrument. Word.
You know what I'm saying? And from there on, I used to start. We used to have little camcorders and shit, and I used to be like 14, 15 with a mink and a mink hat on, and I used to shoot videos of me rapping other niggas' songs. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like say Above the Law. That was my niggas Above the Law. I thought I was 187.
Legendary.
Yeah, I thought I was 187. So I was saying all his part, and my niggas would film me. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it just started like that, and it just started. It just kept going like that.
So, when it comes to, was hip hop your first love in terms of music, or was it R&B?
Yeah,
was it jazz?
Yeah, no, hip hop most definitely. The first time I saw niggas like Eric B with them fucking velour feeler suits on and them goddamn ropes and them feelers. I'm gonna tell you a story. When we was 13 years old, right? And we all said we're gonna put $300 together and get some dope. They came out with some motherfucking feelers that cost like $115 or something like that.
Yeah.
I took my 300 and went and bought a velour jogging suit with the feelers and was standing in front of Cody High School. Yeah, standing in front of Cody High School, fresh as hell. I ain't had no money for the work or nothing. Everybody was mad at me because I spent my shit, but I had to be fresh as hell. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like a Joy Road nigga that fucked the plan up trying to go shopping, bro. That's
some typical shit. Right up.
Fuck the plan straight up. You tuned into the Best of Dawgface TV live on YouTube. Jesse James, Streetlord Official was in the building. Brother, can you remember the first rap that you ever wrote?
Whoa.
Yes, it was called Money and the Power.
Get the fuck
right. How old were you when you wrote
it? Money and the Power had to come out.
Rap.
Shit. My nigga dad, 93, probably 93, 92. 92.
No, right.
92,
93. At what age did you say to yourself, man, I think I want to be a rapper?
When I finally found somebody that made the beat to Money and the Power. And when I finally put it together and heard myself. And then when I came back to the hood and played it for all my Joy Road people, and they went crazy.
And how old were you then when this happened?
I had to be like 21. 20.
Oh, so it wasn't like you was rapping at 6, 7, 8 years old.
Oh no, hell no.
No, so you 21 years old is a late bloomer. It's like saying you started playing football at 21 type shit. You know what I'm saying? So most artists, most rappers, when they talk about how they started and how they were influenced by hip hop young, and that's when.
He was funny as hell for that one. Look, we're gonna dig off a little bit more into this interview and see what's going on.
As rock bottom, as street lords were coming up, right? And you mentioned rock bottom earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was there so we were back then? You had a bunch of different groups.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to point out something. Dawgface is wearing all 24 karat gold.
None more popular than at that particular point in time, Street Lords, rock bottom. What was because according to popular legend, there were issues between the Street Lords and rock bottom, right? Is that true? And if it is true, can you speak to what the initial issues were? Was it just competition, us versus them, or was it something more personal?
Okay. See, we used to listen to rock bottom. You know, they the shit. Them niggas was the shit. You know what I'm saying? We fuck with rock bottom. We did shows with rock bottom and all kind of shit. But the more money we got, we started thinking outside the box. So, you know, Yacht had a vision, and his vision was like, we get money. You know what I'm saying? So we want to get stars on our CDs. We trying to think outside the box. We chasing this Cash Money $30 million deal. Since you want to know, that's what we chasing. And with the right all them artists on our shit, we can get the big distribution deal. You get what I'm saying? So Rock Bottom started trying to act like we was selling out by spending our money with them out of town rap niggas, the major niggas. You get what I'm saying? And they start speaking on little shit like that. And
publicly or amongst people who are in the music business?
Amongst, I don't know, it just started circling around or probably even tried to say it to us before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why y'all spending on me? Y'all should keep that shit in. How I don't know. I can't really remember exactly. But so, then we also had, I told you about doing all them songs with the West Coast niggas, the Bay, all them niggas. Them niggas was bringing all the pills and the good weed. You know what I'm saying? So my niggas end up popping pills, the E pills and shit. So them niggas made a song and was like, niggas only tough off the pills. So we got to playing that shit back. Some nigga had got one of the fellas that got shot up in the DTS. I don't know if he got hit, but it was a shootout and shit. And they said, yeah, put bullet holes in your DTS, the Cadillac and shit. You know what I'm saying? So they like references little shit. So we sitting down and we playing that shit back, and we like, these whole ass niggas talking about us. So you know how we did it, nigga. Y'all talking about us indirectly, nigga. We finna go to the studio and we about to say you whole ass niggas' name, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So we went to the studio and we said them niggas' names.
What was the name of that song?
It ain't no name. It was just Rock Bottom versus Streetlord.
That was the name of the song?
Yeah. We took they beat and went at them and said their names. So we didn't like really name the song.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Just quick.
I got you. Did y'all press the song up and put the song out?
Yeah. Oh no, we didn't do that. No, we ain't pressing them and put it out. We just took it to the titty bar and all that type of shit, just to let it get out there and start the beef. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so when the members of Rock Bottom heard it, what was their immediate response?
They went straight back to the studio and came hard as hell. Because they could rap for real too, so they came back hard as hell. But we always had one up on them though, niggas. Just like we was some real street niggas. I ain't saying they was not street niggas, not no hoe niggas. Or I would never say that. But we was straight up real boss drug dealers, like big time niggas. You know what I'm saying? Thousands of pounds every 2 weeks. We get money. Them niggas was working at Throwing Up a Valley and Sam Club. So in my mind, nigga, you can never fuck with me, nigga. You got a job. That's why on that one song I said, I'm gonna walk up at Throwing Up a Valley and I'm gonna smack Big Kirk fucking clerk, then wipe my rims off with your manager, sir. Rocks off, I took his work. He say I ran off with it. Found a spot on Linwood and set Bathgate in it. You know what I'm saying? Because them niggas had jobs. And you can never fuck with us if y'all got jobs. We getting money.
Right.
The fact they were getting money. I gotta shout that out. Them niggas had lowriders and cars with hydraulics on them and shit back in the Gap. They was getting money. I don't know. They was getting money. Not to say Rock Bottom was broke, but they weren't getting money like that. They weren't getting.
Ever become.
This also why Detroiters, when y'all be talking everybody. Now I got mad respect for Big Meech. He knows some of my people. He the man. He put it down. But this is why Detroiters get a little upset when y'all talk about him like he the end all be all. It's been so many $1 million crews in Detroit. I'm talking about when you would see them guys out. Well, Blade was like the front dude, but they all had money. You couldn't tell who was the boss. The same thing with them East Side. Well, the East Side dudes was a little different because you could clearly see that one had more than the other. It showed a little different with that specific crew. Maybe Dog just had that much more money than everybody else, or maybe everybody was younger. I'm not sure. But with that specific crew, the other one he talked about, it did show a little bit better who had money. But with all of the other crews, East Side, West Side, it's very hard to see who's the rich one. Very, very, very hard. Some of these new guys, not so hard, the new rappers, but then some of them just not coming into money like that to where they could spread it out amongst their crew rap-wise, because some of them had money before rap. They couldn't just go buy shit. So I want to make sure I'm being respectful. But in these Detroit crews, it's hard to tell which one is the richest one because everybody be looking good.
Physical with Rock Bottom, did y'all ever get into it in clubs? Did it ever spark in the club? Or was it just was it just maintained on
No,
the song?
it ended up being tension with the neighborhood rock bottom niggas, not the rappers. Like the neighborhood niggas, like, you know, when you out about niggas repping 7 Mile, Joy Road, niggas repping the West Side Streetlords, and you got all them Linwood, Dexter niggas, like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it kind of ended up being some tension, and then it ended up being some tension with Blade had this tension with this little Dexter rock bottom nigga, you know what I'm saying? So it ended up being a tension, but not with the rappers. With the niggas representing the hood and rock bottom. You get what I'm saying? So Blade had a couple fights with this one nigga named Chico. He dead too. So, you know, they had a couple fights and shit, one-on-one fights and shit.
Right.
2 light-skinned niggas going at it.
That's a hell of a fight. 2 light-skinned niggas scratching each other. You know, you tuned into the best of Dawgface TV Live on YouTube. Streetlord Jesse James is in the building. Let's get into the heart. I mean, because everybody who's watching this right now, their heart is pounding right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about, you made mention in your video announcing that, you know, announcing your availability to podcasters for interviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that you mentioned was where the name Eastside Cheddar Boys came from.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that, are you saying that so let's talk about the Streetlords, Cheddar Boys. What's the difference between Streetlords and Cheddar Boys, and where did the name Cheddar Boy come from?
Okay, so we was the Streetlords, and Blade grew up with this nigga, and he used to be rolling in the spots for my nigga Brick, and the spots used to do thousands and thousands of dollars a day. So he was getting, you know, the spot was booming, the dog food, and so the nigga was just like, nigga, yeah. I guess when the sack was gone, the nigga was like, nigga, yeah, nigga, we getting cheddar over here, like, nigga, I'm a cheddar boy. So that nigga who I'm talking about originally came up with the word cheddar boy, but by him and Blade being tight, Blade ran with it, and they was friends. You know what I'm saying? All the way till he died, they was friends, but Blade ran with it, and we ran with it. Streetlord Cheddar Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Blade, you know, if Blade had it, we had it. So it was the Streetlord Cheddar Boys.
That was
right.
So wasn't no Eastside Cheddar Boys before no motherfucking Streetlord Cheddar Boys. I done argue with niggas in the penitentiary about that shit. The Fed joint, niggas, that's some bullshit. That's not how that happened.
Okay, so the Streetlords became, or the sub name of the Streetlords became. Did you all you guys incorporate Cheddar Boys into y'all?
Yes,
right.
It's on my back right now.
Mm-hmm, I got you. So where did the relationship with? So were there any East Side members? Because everybody that you named with. So question. Is Blake Icewood originally from West 7 Mile?
He from Syracuse and 7 Mile, the East Side.
So Blake Icewood is an East Sider originally.
Yep, yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a major point of contention for people, right? Because listen, no members of Streetlords or Rock Bottom or even the East Side Cheddar Boys, they don't talk. They don't sit down for interviews. You're the first person to open up and give us any substantive answers about just the origins and, you know, some of the conflicts and things that took place.
And all authentic answers too.
Yeah, this is a history. Authentic. This is a history lesson, bro. So East Side Cheddar Boys, you mentioned that you usually say, well, wasn't no motherfucking East Side Cheddar Boys first. The Cheddar Boy name came from us first. How did that become an issue about who was Cheddar Boy first, East Side guys or West Side guys? And first of all, who were the East Side Cheddar Boys, and how did they take that name?
Okay, the East Side Cheddar Boys was Wipeout, Malik, Tough Tone, and Lil Dre, Fat Lil Baby, Mo Green, East Side G, Ready Red. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. I can't remember. P Frown. You know what I'm saying? So all of them was the East. All of them was all of them was just all of them at first. It wasn't no name. It wasn't no name. All of them was just them at first.
Okay, so listen. So was there a relationship between who we now know or recognize as the East Side Cheddar Boys and the Streetlords? Did you guys have a relationship with the East Side?
I did. No, I did. I had the relationship. Wipeout and them was my mans. I came from the east side. Wipeout and them was my mans. Mo Green them, east side G. I've been knowing them since I was like 10 or 12 years old, like 40-year friendships. You know what I'm saying? Them was my niggas. So they used to come to the west side and fuck with me and shit like that. You know, we got to work on the west side. We got the bitches. We flashy on the west side. So niggas coming to the west side was like coming to Disneyland. You know what I'm saying? So that was the relationship.
That's the relationship. So that's how the connection between the Streetlord officials and the East Side guys who eventually became the East Side Cheddar Boys. That's how it happened. Right.
And you know, I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they knew Ready Red or Ready Red knew some people and shit like that. But I'm talking about as far as the music part. The music part come from Wipeout calling me and saying, Jesse James, I got some niggas to rap. I want you to hear them. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so many niggas call me like that. You know, I ain't thinking nothing of it. But Wipeout my man though. I'm gonna hang with him eventually anyway. Like I'm hanging with the Streetlords. I'm Joy Road out my mind, but I'm gonna fuck with Wipeout and Mo Green them too. You know what I'm saying? So when I finally had time, I went over there and I listened to the niggas, and the niggas was sweet as hell. I couldn't believe it. So the niggas was sweet as hell, and so from there on, nigga, they started working on their CD. I started, Wipeout called me for everything, all the information, all the game. I'm giving him all the game. This is my nigga. Ain't no dick sucking shit or nothing. Nigga, I'm giving him the game. I'm giving the game, telling him exactly how I did it and how we did it. You know what I'm saying? So if we about to do a song with Too Short, I'm calling Wipeout like, nigga, you better have your cheese ready. Too Short gonna be, nigga, you better have your cheese ready. E40 gonna, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And but between Reddy and I forgot who all, everybody just started, embracing them, and we all started being cool, and everybody started having their own individual relationships. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
We was all one. We was all one, but it still wasn't no name. So as Wipeout was working on the CD, Blade went over there, another nigga went over there. So he had like two of them on the CD already before it was even done yet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and that's the Cheddar. What eventually became the East Side Cheddar Boy CD.
Exactly.
Okay. Right.
So he can't finish the CD without me. He keep telling me I can't put it out without you on there. I'm like, okay. I'm in the streets. I'm running crazy. So he called me like, I got the song. Go boy, and I say your name. You know what I'm saying? So boom. After them two already went over there, I'm like, okay, well they already done went over there. I might as well go. You know what I'm saying? So I go over there. We do Old Boy, and then I do another song with Breed. You know what I'm saying? And them. And so he wrapping it up. He finally got finished, and he was like, "Man, I ain't got no name for this motherfucker." He called me at 2:00 in the morning. We kicking it, and nigga, my exact words, nigga, if I'm lying, nigga, I'm dying, nigga. I said, nigga, name that shit the East Side Cheddar Boys, nigga. And that nigga was like, nah, man, I don't want to do that shit, man. I don't want to start no bullshit. His exact words, like, man, I don't want to start no bullshit. I said, nigga, I came from the East Side, you my man, them, nigga. And if it wasn't for me, it wouldn't be no Streetlords, nigga. Man, name that shit the East Side Cheddar Boys. And that's how that shit came about. Any nigga that go against that and say that that's not true is a motherfucking lie, nigga. And I ain't about to lie on my dead friend, nigga.
Right. So the name East Side Cheddar Boy, the idea to use that as the name of the group, or was that supposed to be the name of the album?
No, the name of the album.
Okay.
The East Side Cheddar Boy. Name that bitch the East Side Cheddar Boy. I mean, the name of the album, East Side Cheddar Boys. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No.
The name of the album was Making Cheddar on the East Side.
Group, my nigga, because the name of the album was Making Cheddar on the East Side.
Right. Okay.
Oh, the group, nigga. The group. He don't got no name for the group.
For the group. Okay, I got you.
Cheddar Boys. We the Streetlord Cheddar Boys. We own y'all CD. We all mans. Nigga, why not name that bitch the East Side Cheddar Boys? Because I'm thinking, if we're going to be a part of it and we own that, shit, it can't flop. Nigga, our name on the line. So making that the East Side Cheddar Boys, they going to, you know what I'm saying? That bitch going to do what it need to do.
Okay, got you. So I have a question, right? This is like, so did the Streetlords ever make a song called Cheddar Boys Anything prior to the East Side Cheddar Boys dropping their first album and referring to themselves as Cheddar Boys on song?
Hell yeah.
Y'all did?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all made a song titled something Cheddar Boy Anything?
Cheddar Land, the one with Too Short, I think, called Cheddar Boys.
Uh-huh.
I think, if I ain't mistaken, I think the one with Too Short called Cheddar Boys or something. I don't know, but I know we had Cheddarland. Every song we saying Cheddar Boys. Even Blaze said 7 Mile Cheddar Boy with my niggas from Joy.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 90 something. That was on my Uncle Jesse James.
Mm-hmm. And that was before Eastside Cheddar Boys.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, okay, I got you. Let's get this. So it's a 900-pound gorilla in this room right now, right? Mm-hmm. And we in 2 different rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
The conflict between the Streetlord Cheddar Boys. Okay, so listen. So you gave him that suggestion to name the group Eastside Cheddar Boys when Wipeout called you.
Mm-hmm.
How did the other members of the Streetlords, how did they take it? Did they know about it before the album came out, or did they find out after it came out? And it went in, and did they feel some type of way about?
I can't remember exactly when each member find out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I know from the first time it came out, niggas wasn't really mad. You know what I'm saying? But when that shit started blowing up, and we ain't had no motion because we was working on the masterpiece. I told you we took them to like four years for each album. So while our motion was down,
Masterpiece, Platinum Masterpiece. That's an album, as far as independent rap go, that's an album y'all should really look at. You know why? Because they had Cash Money Records on that album. Cash Money, Birdman didn't allow Cash Money Records to do music with nobody. As a matter of fact, the only people that got music with Cash Money Records at that time is the Streetlords, E40, and Nori. Nobody else was able to get Cash Money features before and for another couple of years after. Remember, Jay-Z sent his feature in to be put on high. Couldn't get Juvie on his album. So it ain't just a money thing. That tells you a lot about their respect thing, because most of the other 2 people that Birdman allowed them to work with was major artists with a budget. These are street niggas. Street lords, my bad.
They motion was just rising with that old boy. I'm a Cheddar Boy, baby. I'm from the Gator Capital, home of the Stink Pink. You know, that shit was taking off. And it didn't matter to me. I ain't no hater. First of all, we helped the niggas do it. You know what I'm saying? So why would I be mad or hating on some shit we helped and me and Blade them on the fucking CD? You wanted to blow up. And so every time they doing the concert, they need me to come do Old Boy and rock that bitch. So I'm still relevant. You know what I'm saying? So while the other niggas is just working on other shit, I think Blade, I don't know for sure, but I think Blade was working on, he had another side project was still spinning. You know, Blade always was still hot, but you know, as far as the group, the shit was kind of dead down. And niggas started the shit happened from niggas started getting jealous of that shit. I'm gonna tell you the real, nigga. I'm about to shit. Niggas started getting jealous because niggas started telling me like Jesse James brought them niggas around, man. You brought them niggas around, man. So niggas started getting jealous of that shit, nigga. On some 100 shit.
So you're on record saying that as the Cheddar Boys' popularity started to grow, initially there was no issue, but as the popularity of the Cheddar Boys and their project and their song took over. So when the Cheddar Boys dropped their first album, did it take over Detroit?
Yeah, took it over. They on the radio twice a day. They on the radio twice. Old Boy and I'm a Cheddar Boy, baby.
Mm-hmm. And so, how did you know? Because you're saying that people on Cheddar Boy on the Streetlord side of things.
Yeah, because they said it to me because they feel I brought the niggas around, like. So they saying it to me. I could tell how the niggas starting to say it.
How did it make you feel? And what did you say in response to them? How did it make you feel when you started to feel and hear that energy? And what was your response when you became aware?
I ain't feel no type of way because I didn't think the shit was gonna be no issue like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think about it too, like, you know, where niggas come from. You know, where niggas come from, what they saying really ain't. You know what I'm saying? This me now. You know, whatever you saying, I probably like, you know, I probably just ate that shit or something because I did. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you niggas, they were like, no, it like the niggas were no hell of a gangster niggas or something like that. It really mattered what they, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing like that. But so I didn't really feel too much the type of way because Wipeout Them was my niggas. It was too late. You know what I'm saying? It's too late, nigga. Which y'all wanted it to flop with our name on it.
Oh, so the Cheddar Boy thing, y'all looked at that as these guys are an extension of us in every respect. So we want to see that shit do well because everybody knows. Was it an East Side, West Side thing? Was that ever an issue? Or was it just a music thing?
No, that it was a music thing. It wasn't never no East Side, West Side.
Right, because Streetlord Juan is an East Side nigga. He's a Streetlord.
That thing. It was more of an East Side, West Side thing with the public and the city, not with the rappers, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you. So let's talk about when let's talk about, so let's back up for a second and let's bring Streetlord Juan into this equation, right? You made your post about, hey, all you podcasters, man, and you listed every major hot podcast across the country that deal with urban hip hop.
Man, I'm not a pickup truck type of guy, but it looked like he in that new F-150. And I seen one of them joints in person. That whole driver's seat turning into a bed shit, that shit is fly. But I don't like to drive pickup trucks. Made me feel uncomfortable when they hit a bump. But my man say pickup trucks ain't like that no more. So I'm gonna have to test drive one of them. But then I don't know if a pickup truck is a good daddy mobile anyway. Not sure. I got some debating to do.
Everybody.
You tagged everybody, right? I was one of the people you tagged. I was honored. Don't know. And listen, because when you got the legendary Streetlord OG Capo tag me in it, that meant that somehow, some way you thought I was relevant enough to put in the equation.
Yes, a voice of the streets, voice of the streets.
I appreciate that, brother. I work hard. This motherfucking Mega Evans, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X for this shit. I was slaving. I've been slaving for this shit. So when you made that post, did you anticipate the backlash you were going to get? I don't know. What did you get? Did you get any backlash? Because we don't know if you got any backlash or not. I seen comments and shit, right? But did somebody call you and be like, hey, what the fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, so I make the video, right? So, you know, I'm sitting back, I'm watching all these niggas get money, all these so-called kingpins, all these so-called gang leaders, all these so-called bosses. They traveling around the world. They getting 5,000 from this person, 10,000 from this person, and all these niggas ain't really been through shit, ain't did shit, and I know they ain't been through half the shit I've been through. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, you know, and I'm who I am. I'm like, okay.
Now, damn, Jesse, why you have to say that? Shit. For the record, he on some Joy Road shit right here. And by me having a bunch of Joy Road homies, I'm not upset. But he know he shouldn't. Well, he probably gonna look back at this later and know he should have left that part out. That may be true, and you don't have to acknowledge that. His respect is intact, and we gotta quit doing this. A lot of times, just because our perception of what we're going through is we're not getting our respect or our accreditation. That's not always true. Sometimes we haven't allowed the light to be shined on us for us to get what we see other people getting. And sometimes we don't want what other people got. Sometimes we don't need that. He don't need that. He gonna be able to make money on the internet just being him. But when you admit that you see people getting something that you not, that you feel as though you deserve, it puts a stigma on your progression and your ascension.
I've been hearing all these little street lore stories. I've seen a couple niggas do some podcasts and shit, but it don't sit right with me because, nigga, to me, just coming from me, nigga, if you ain't ride for Blade Icewood, nigga, I don't want to hear your street lore story. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So I hear the stories, and they got the right to tell their own stories, and you know what I'm saying? And they, you know, but I'm just saying, for me, being a Joy Road nigga, if you ain't ride for our damn near the hottest, the main nigga the whole fucking world love and know in the group, you ain't ride from, I really don't want to hear your story. And I feel you can't even really tell no story if you didn't ride for the Street Lords. And that's just how I felt. So I always knew I'm gonna do my own fucking Street Lord story, movie, book, and tell my side of the Street Lord story. So I said, okay, I'm about to go on the internet and I'm about to talk to these podcasters and let them know if they want to interview one of the realest niggas out of Detroit, get at me. Let's go. I'm about to turn shit up, set this shit on fire. So I say some shit from clickbait. You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes.
So let me do my job. Let me do my job. We're gonna get to that clickbait, right? So I got my little folder. And this ain't the fuck nigga 5 folder, no. This ain't the fuck nigga 5. This is I take my notes in here, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So one of the things you said, we're gonna go over this shit step by step.
This nigga with that fuck nigga 5.
Like the YSL trial. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So one of the things you said is, if you want to hear the truth about who backdoored Blade Icewood.
All right, yeah, we'll do that. Whoo, what up though, y'all? Is StreamYard still going? Damn, okay, bet. We lost power for a little minute. I don't know how this video is gonna look, but we in there. We back on StreamYard. I fucks with you. The money I pay y'all,
I think, and I'm not even gonna, brother, that was a statement that sent shockwaves through Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
The general public don't really see. There's a lot of misinformation that has been disseminated about the relationship between the East Side Cheddar Boys and Streetlord Cheddar Boys. There's misinformation about who started what or who started the name.
Mm-hmm.
There's misinformation about whether or not the East Side Cheddar Boys as a collective were really cool with the Streetlord Cheddar Boys from the West. It was like a West Side, East Side thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's stories being told about Blade's relationship with, I think, so when it comes to the Cheddar Boys, East Side Cheddar Boys, and the Street Lords, I think the two young gunners of the clique with Blade and Tough Tone.
Mm-hmm.
Tough Tone is still hated to this very day. I don't know a rapper in Detroit who is more disliked than Tough Tone, bro. Do you?
No, not at all.
So why does the public think?
I don't know. I think Malik might have been the number one rapper from that crew, though.
That why is it so much? Is it so much information about the relationship between East Side Cheddar Boys and Streetlords, because people don't really talk about it. So when stories have been told about it by people who really don't know, you guys never tried to correct it anyway. Why is it so much misinformation out there about what happened and what transpired?
Because it's a lot of niggas dead. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that's alive then been indicted and been to the Fed joint. So niggas be mindful and careful of what they say. You know what I'm saying? You know, shit closed, shit open. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit ain't to be talked about, especially not on social media. You know what I'm saying? And and how we look at niggas, if you ain't no hell of a niggas or no real niggas, what we even gonna talk to you about it for anyway? You get what I'm saying? Who is you? We can let you think whatever you think, but you know, that's just how it is.
Right. So I'm going to get into some more specific questions, bro. And there's some things that you can talk about because there's a statute of limitation on some things. So some things you can't be. There's no possibility of somebody being incriminated. There may be a possibility of somebody being looked at a particular way, but as far as from a legal standpoint, some of these things the
statute of limitations ran out.
Yes, that ran out on shit. Why does it seem like the major beef between the East Side Cheddar Boys and the Streetlords, why does it seem to the world that beef was demonstrated between Blade Icewood and Tough Tone more than anybody? Why? Well, take that back. It was Wipeout and Juan. That's the top of the totem pole on both sides of the fence. Or no, was at the time when all this shit started to fall apart and tempers started to flare and issues started to happen, was Streetlord Juan the leader of the Cheddar Boys? That's the question. Was he a leader of the Streetlords?
The leader of the Streetlords?
Yes.
No way possible if he came from up under us or came after us. You know what I'm saying? No way possible.
So why does
Juan was BFI? His name was Best Friend Juan. You get what I'm saying? When he came along, he was best friend Juan.
So best friend, as in best friend from the East Side?
I guess, I don't know for sure, but so you know what I'm saying. But there's no way possible he could have been a leader. We don't fuck with no leaders. We don't really fuck with no leaders. Either you're gonna be a street lord or you ain't.
I would have to agree with that because when you see them moving around, they are. That's why people get mad when y'all give such credit to Big Meech or whatever. It ain't that Meech don't deserve the credit. It's that was like the Detroit way. Like how Meech didn't play none of his homies like employees. And plus, Meech wouldn't have been able to, he'd have been able to move like that, but it was clear that he was the boss. It would have been a little bit different in the city because you got crews where it's like all the successful crews, people are on an even playing field when it comes to communicating with each other. You know what I'm saying? That's just take Detroit out of it. Anywhere success is true, guys got to be able to communicate with each other on a mutual level.
You don't be no leader. You know
right. So why? So you do know that the general public, the historians of hip hop, the general casual observer of Detroit, that Juan is recognized as the de facto leader of the Streetlords on the west side side of things. Why? How did that get to be that way?
I ain't never came across nobody that thought that or said
that. Hey, goddamn, hey, Jesse James. You telling me that you don't know that
Dawgface wrong as hell right here, because him and Juan had they both East Siders, and they had they back and forth about the Detroit gatekeeper thing. Now, I'm not just go get on Dawgface on this one because I understand where he's coming from, but the thing is after things started going bad, Juan was the one that kept his record label going. He put, before Kanye, he gave Big Sean his chance. And then I think he had put Lil Anguish out. And then he went back and signed K-Deezy. K-Deezy was Dirty Glove. And that was another thing. Juan had, when the Streetlords and Cheddar Boys and stuff was going through their shit, Juan had kept releasing projects under Dirty Glove. that featured with most of the Cheddar Boys, and then he had signed a couple of the little homies. So I can understand how somebody may have that perception, but we know wasn't nobody looking at it like that, Dawgface. You putting a little mustard, I mean a little syrup on the pancakes.
People look at Juan like Juan is the king fucking street lord out of all, even above Juan. Even above Blade.
No. Let me take that back. Yeah, King. Yeah, bigger than life, King Street Lord, because that's who he is. But not over nobody. He's in the, like, that's how they gonna look at Blade. That's how they gonna look at.
Okay, clean it up, because they help him understand. Because the way I saw it is that was a crew of bosses. That was a crew of bosses, man. I'll tell you something about Streetlord Juan. Me and Drummer used to work at Foot Locker. This like when we in high school, coming out of high school. He used to work at Ladies Foot Locker. Drummer didn't get paid that much, you know what I'm saying? So he used to steal all the Timberlands and all the lady shoes as soon as they came out, stuff like that. And Streetlord Juan used to come in, cash him out with everything. And the shit Streetlord Juan didn't do, if he didn't show up, I would come by the rest. You know what I'm saying? This is like when I first started getting money. My girl at that time, it wasn't a pair of shoes she did not have. You know what I'm saying? Which kind of went a long way, because I was just starting to get money and my bitch was fly like the niggas who was already getting money. You know what I'm saying? Plus she was a bad bitch. She was bad, you know, bad attitude too. Me and her still tight, but we can't be having sex and stuff. We be crazy about each other.
You know what I'm saying? I of course, yeah, my dog, well, niggas getting money, nigga represent this shit to the fullest, nigga, yeah, king.
Right.
Nigga, he said it, nigga, I'm a kingpin. I ain't gonna lie, I get them things in. I'm talking about, yes, he could be looked at it like that, but not over nobody. You get what I'm saying? Now, if anything, I will humble myself and say, by Blade and Blade Death, idolize my nigga. And he could have that title as the biggest street lord ever, because if you think about it, who is the biggest street lord ever? Blade Icewood, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
without trying to be that. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it could never be somebody that came after us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Fuck how it look. You know, it can never be.
Gotcha. So as things start to heat up between the street lords, the street lord Cheddar Boy was West Side.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't had no East Side members in there?
Why?
Juan is from the East Side. Juan is from the East Side.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what, you know what part of the East Side he's from? Warren, Mac, where you from?
Like that Stay Fresh shit, 7 Mile, that type of shit, you know?
Oh, so Streetlord Juan is originally an East Side guy?
Mm-hmm.
Dawgface.
Do you think the general public knows that? Or do they think?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You know what? Okay, so listen, bro.
He said hard.
Okay. But I don't think the casual observer of.
Damn, you know what I just realized? Did he just say, the dude that killed Blade name was Larry, and he from that same area, that same neighborhood, if I'm not mistaken. I need to brush up on my Gerardo skills and whatnot, and my information, my books or whatever and whatnot, but I think he from there over there in that same area, State Fair by 75, you know, because State Fair don't go all the way through the east.
The beef between, I think it was like Biggie versus Tupac, bro. It was like,
and that is a tough area. Oh baby, it's a tough area. A couple dead end streets, few cutoffs, a lot of missing street lights, a lot of missing houses. Not gonna disrespect the area, because I've been over there, I've been caught back there, and it's an area.
East versus West. Right now, you do know that the West Side niggas stand on Blade all day. All day. And West Side motherfuckers don't fuck with the East Side Cheddar Boys, because it was like it was like some East Side versus West Side. You had to take a side, pick a side.
Yeah. That's how powerful it was. The impact.
That's how powerful. Yeah. Long before you had Pac and Biggie, or was that after Pac and Biggie? That was after Pac and Biggie.
It was after Pac and Biggie. Pac and them died 95.
95, 96 years. So we had our own Pac and Biggie situation.
2004, 2005.
Yeah, it was like Death Row versus Bad Boy type shit, right? Okay. No Diddy. Right.
No Diddy at all.
Right, no Diddy at all, right? So as it were you aware that
Damn, Puff, why you do this shit to yourself, man? We gonna make a video about that later. Ah, damn, Puff, man. God damn, man. Man, that's the problem with having success early, man. People will kiss your ass and tell you everything is cool until they get the chance to tell you that you're wrong as fuck. And typically that's gonna be after they didn't party with you doing the wrong thing for a long time. And that's fucked up.
it was turning into some East Side, West Side shit?
Okay, so let me tell you, right? I if you don't know, but I know you probably know from the interview with Tough Tone. But if you ain't know, I told you it was a situation about a couple pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so after them two, whatever transpired, after them two fell out about the pounds,
At the Blade in Tough Tone.
and Tough, yeah, Tough made a song called "Not Boss Up and Take That Money." I mean, I boss up. I took his money, something like that. He did a remix like to Blade, "Boss Up and Take Their Money." So Wipeout called me and said, "Where you at?" I said, "I'm at the Platinum on 6 Mile." He whipped up at the Platinum, jumped out, introduced me to these two niggas. Like, yeah, these my hitters, these my niggas. They just got out the joint. I ain't really gonna say their name, but he had, as soon as you say hitters and all that, I ain't pay no attention because I don't care about none of that shit. So I want to know what he calling me to show me. He said, "Man, I'm about to play you something, but I ain't gonna put this shit out." He played the song that Tough made, and then he let me hear it. I listened to the shit. I laughed and shit. He's like, "Man, so what you think?" He's like, "I ain't gonna put that shit out. But what you think?" I said, "Man, it's only two things gonna happen if Blade hit this. My nigga getting money and he gonna laugh at that shit, or somebody gonna die."
And you told this to Wipeout.
Yeah, if I'm lying, I'm flying.
Right. And so the song came out.
And guess who one of the niggas was?
Who?
The nigga that ended up paralyzing Blade.
One of the
And this is where the bullshit starts at. If y'all are $1 million niggas, if somebody in your crew does some dumb shit like run off with a bag, this all chump change to the bosses. Why not just pay that tab? Why would you feed off into that? See, shit like this kind of, I don't know. That shit, you know what? Let's listen.
One of the guys who was with White.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't look at the nigga Doggy, because you know how niggas is when niggas be like, "Man, I do this, I do that." You don't care about them type of niggas. So I didn't even look at the nigga. I wish I would have looked at the nigga. I would have knew how he looked then.
When things start to get heated up, when it went past just talking and rapping,
I'm lightweight pissed off now, man. I kind of knew this story already, but to sit back and hear these particulars, man, and to know these was all $1 million niggas, like, dumb shit.
What were you saying? Because you were connected to both sides.
No, I was in the Fed joint when the first little physical fights and shit started happening. Like Blade and Wipeout actually had a fight at the TD bar and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple, one or two little fist fights. You know what I'm saying?
And so you were in the Fed joint by this time,
yeah,
right?
I was in the Fed, and when I called home, Blade was telling me about it.
What was your thought process when you were hearing this?
That I'm gonna end that shit when I get home. Wipeout my man. I'm gonna end that shit when I get home. I don't want nobody, I know what's gonna happen. Somebody gonna die. So I'm hoping that it's just some physical fight and some bullshit. And once I come home, you know what I'm saying? When I come home, I'm like, man, that shit gonna be dead.
Man, we can't overlook this part. Blade was the light-skinned nigga into it with all these dark-skinned dudes. And I don't know if you got a high yellow homie who parents might have had a better job than everybody else's, but they still in the streets. that's a whole nother factor within itself. Because I got a couple high yellow homies, and G Willikers Batman. When it come down to them feeling like they have to defend themselves or somebody step, oh my God. It's almost as bad as a mixed race person having a blackness challenge.
Yeah, nigga, I ain't gonna let that shit get that serious and get out of hand like that. And they both my mans, and I'm responsible for this and this basically.
Got you. What was your relationship with Streetlord Juan coming in when he was introduced later on into the whole Streetlord movement? Did you have any relationship with him?
Oh, my God, my baby.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my baby. Anybody that came in, nigga, and was for real and could rap and was repping the Street Lords and was getting money, embodied everything what the Street Lord was, and it was all love. It was immediately a brotherhood.
That's what it looked like.
Got you. In your video, you said Blade got backdoored.
Mm-hmm.
So backdoor in Ebonics,
mm-hmm.
it means that you can't be backdoored by somebody who's not a friend of yours. Mm-hmm. You can't be backdoored by your op, because your op is your op. Your op is front dooring you all day if he catch your ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
A backdoor means that somebody stabbed you in your back close to you and put you in a position to be harmed, period.
Or noodled.
Or harmed or robbed, stuck with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Without saying no names, is it true that Blade Icewood was backdoored by somebody he knew? Without saying any names.
Without a doubt.
One of the so part B of that question is, people in Detroit look at Blade's death, West Siders specifically look at Blade's death, and just like the East Coast, the West Coast blamed Bad Boy for Pac's murder in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the East Coast blamed LA for Biggie getting killed in LA.
Mm-hmm.
The Blade Icewood, Blade is more famous in death than he was in life. Blade to Detroit is hip hop Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is, right?
Oh my God, yes, sir.
Yeah. So did Blade, were the East Side Cheddar Boys at all responsible for Blade Icewood's death? If you can answer that question.
Nah.
No. Okay, got you. So no West Sider should be feeling like, because there was a beef going on at that particular point in time, it wasn't no East Siders. Blade was backdoored.
No. It was East Siders. It just wasn't no East Side Cheddar Boys.
So nobody connected to the East Side Cheddar Boys.
I mean, they connected to friendships. Yeah.
But nobody who actually wore the moniker East Side Cheddar Boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you. All right.
Exactly.
Wipeout.
Mm-hmm.
Wipeout's passing. It shook Detroit. I'm gonna tell you something, man. This shit about smoking the ops and shit that they be doing out of Chicago.
These young niggas,
that shit didn't start in Chicago. Mm-hmm. When Blade Icewood passed away, you had people who were selling. Some people were mourned, but for the most part, you had some people on the East Side like, I don't fucking, because it seemed like an East Side West Side thing.
Yeah.
Sure. And then when Wipeout died, you had people in.
Wipeout died first.
Wipeout died first. His death. There were songs made. Is it correct that there were songs made? There were public statements made celebrating Wipeout's death by people from Streetlords.
Not really celebrating.
Blade had that one line. He had that one line, but that was after he got shot. But let's see what Jesse said.
Celebrating my guy. it was just like Blade was blamed for some shit he didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was in the wheelchair and he was frustrated and he was angry. So he was just like, after that, he was like, fuck them all. It wasn't celebrating because Wipeout was our nigga. You know, niggas ain't do that to Wipeout. So we would never would celebrate. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like how Pac got mad and said, fuck Biggie, Pac, Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? He said, for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Blaze was. He was pissed. Nigga. He in that wheelchair for something he ain't do. You know what I'm saying? And niggas left that shit on us. Niggas let that shit fall on us. The niggas know we ain't do that shit, but them niggas tucked their tail and fell back and let us reap all the fucking consequences that came from that shit.
So there were people who knew that Streetlord wasn't responsible for Wipeout's death, and there were people who knew that East Side Cheddar Boys were not responsible for Blade's death, but they allowed those. They allowed that sentiment to grow and fester, and it turned into a whole different thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Was there anybody? Who do you think was in the position of knowing? Who do you think should have raised? Do you look back at that now in hindsight and say, "Hey, man, you was in prison when this happened, when the deaths happened, right?"
No, I was in prison when the fights was happening. I was home when Wipeout died, and I was home when Blade died.
All right. So you said that earlier. You just said if you said you couldn't wait to get home and you hoped that you got home fast because you knew it was gonna turn to somebody getting dropped. You were home.
But when I got home, it didn't. You see what I'm saying? When it got home, that shit kind of chilled out. That's how Wipeout situation, RIP Wipeout. That situation didn't have nothing to do with us. So that wasn't nothing I could have controlled.
But the perception was because of the back and forth, and of course you're gonna. I mean, because if you got two factions going at each other, if somebody died, they're gonna think, okay, it was them. Automatic shit, right? All right. Well, was anybody on the Cheddar Boy side? I mean, on the Streetlord side, was anybody like claiming responsibility for Wipeout's passing?
Not at all.
Nobody made no statements. With no pillow talking with no bitches or nothing.
No, not at all.
None of that. Okay, I got it.
Nobody had nothing to do with that, and nobody from our side know who did it. Niggas just know the stories just like anybody else. But no, I wasn't there. I never saw nothing, so I can't really speak on that. I can't say nothing because I wasn't there. Anything I say will be a lie. All I know is what the streets say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who killed Wipeout. I didn't see who killed Wipeout. I wasn't there. Wipeout was my baby. Rest in peace. I try to rep him as much as I can rep Blade. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know who did that shit. I ain't see who did that shit. If I say I saw something, I lied. You know what I'm saying? I'll be lying. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. So doing your video that you made announcing that you were available for YouTube interviews or for podcast interviews, you made mention the backdooring of Blade. You made mention the backdooring of Wipeout. Is it so? Both Blade and Wipeout died as a result of being backdoored by people who they knew?
No, that was clickbait. That was clickbait.
Okay, I get you.
That was clickbait. You know how it is. So it's some truth to some of the situations, but it ain't no truth to it. And so I was going, like, nigga, I'm trying to build up my podcast run, nigga. Tune in, nigga. You want to hear something, nigga? Tune in, nigga. But ain't nobody tell no bitch ass niggas to be watching my page, nigga, and sitting back and dissecting what the fuck I'm saying to my fans and to the public, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Ain't like I'm about to get it, like I'm about to get on fucking YouTube or a fucking podcast and say who did this and who did that. First of all, bitch, I don't know who did nothing to Wipeout. I wasn't there. I ain't see nothing, nigga. I wasn't there. You can put a lie detector on me. I ain't saw shit. I'll be lying, nigga. That'd be perjury. If I say I saw something, that's why a motherfucker ain't got nothing to worry about when it comes to me, because it was a goddamn lie. I wasn't there. I ain't saw shit.
So watch
as far as Blade shit, Blade got backdoored, and by who, we'll never know. But he got backdoored.
Yeah. So but you ain't gonna say.
Oh, most definitely not gonna say.
And we're gonna. So I have something even more important than that.
The nigga that killed Blade in jail And they ain't gonna charge him with the murder because he already in there on murder. The state of Michigan don't waste money. If you got a natural life, there ain't no sense in them taking you back to court on something else. Like Michigan is like northern Texas. In some ways, we a lot more conservative in Texas. Like you could have a duel with somebody in Michigan as long as both of y'all guns is registered to y'all. Ain't nobody going to jail. To not tell what happened to Blade or to not talk about it, but to use his name in that way, that's kind of distasteful. Kind of distasteful. Like I can't say we rep for Blade, but I don't know if we represented the proper way. You know, I would be remiss if I didn't admit to you by me being a YouTuber. I would be remiss to admit to you that the guy that killed Blade, some of the street lords ended up doing time with this guy. You know, now what I don't know, because they didn't say the dude's name, is I don't know if the same dude that paralyzed Blade is the same dude that ended up killing Blade. But then it's pretty clear that it was a backdoor because Blade had that new Range Rover had just came out, and he was riding, pulling up, stopping here and there, and his driver got out the car and ran when the shit went down. That's suspected that would happen. As far as the backdoor play go, I don't know because from my own investigation, Blade had put the word out that he was gonna fuck Dog up, and Dog had it out there that he was waiting to see him. So from my understanding, they both had already made threats at each other.
Important to that is you dropped your advertising, your marketing strategy when you, hey, I got this, that, and third. I got the details for you, right? The next day you came out with a video talking about somebody called you. Did somebody really call you and complain to you about what you said in that initial video?
Yes. Another bitch ass nigga that ain't called me in years called me acting like he really want to kick it with me or holler at me on some you know, my nigga type shit. But the call wasn't that. It wasn't original. The call led right into, damn man, I saw your video. Like, damn man, why you you show me, man, damn man, like dog, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
Is you gonna tell us who this bitch ass nigga, your words was, or you gonna remain silent on that?
He was a street lord.
So there was a street lord called you and told you, hey, we just seen what you said, and don't play it like that because.
God damn, Jesse. For the record, now y'all know I'm a YouTuber, and y'all know how I get down on here. I can't be. I'm wishing this is the second thing I'm wishing Jesse didn't do. But he's a Joy Road nigga. And I can't be mad at him. And Dawgface, fucking East Side antagonist. I can't be mad at either one of them. I just wish they did not do this because they are an older generation. And if they can do this, then the young niggas can take it a step further. Now, they're being very respectful in a disrespectful way. Or are they being disrespectful in a respectful way? You know what?
So did you respond to them right then and there?
No, because I had to really just sit back and think about it. Like this nigga did this same shit 18 years ago. Mm-hmm. The same phone call 18 years ago. And when I realized that, damn, this nigga called me with this whole shit again and keep playing with me and playing me like I'm about to say some whole shit, or like I ever did some whole shit, and like I'm just some whole nigga that do whole shit. So you got to keep calling me and try to make me mindful of something. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So the nigga called me 18
years ago. He talking about when Blade died. That's what he referring to. And when Blade died, because Jesse James had never did a solo album. When Blade died, KDZ was already out or about to drop. And then Jesse came right behind his ass.
years ago, doing all that bullshit with the Wipeout and Blade shit. So I tried to end that shit. You know what I'm saying? I tried to put an end to that shit. So me being a real nigga, I said, man, I'm finna put this shit on my back. I'm gonna say R.I.P. Wipeout and R.I.P. Blade, you know, Cheddar Boys forever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to end the shit so we can move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? And so the same nigga called my phone and said, why would I say R.I.P. Wipeout on the same song as I said, that as I dedicated the Blade, my Blade said what up song.
And that was 18 years ago.
18 years ago.
18 years.
Questioning me why I did some of the realest shit ever. Like it was wrong. The realest shit ever was like I did something wrong. You get what I'm saying?
So 18 years ago, you made a song. In the song, you said R.I.P. Wipeout and R.I.P. the Blade and
Cheddar Boys forever.
Cheddar Boys forever. And the same person who called you after your video that you made 3-4 days ago called you. The same person who questioned you about why you would do that, why would you say that on the song? Why did they question you? Because it's supposed to be war or it's supposed to be ill feelings?
For back then or now?
Yeah, back then.
I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you like I guess, you know, certain niggas just since Blade dad just took like we did this to the Wipeout shit. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just took a side, like, you know, Wipeout wasn't worthy of me saying R.I.P. to.
Hey, Streetlord Jesse James. And when you came back the day after, you dug in Streetlord Juan ass by name.
Oh, that's after. Okay, so the nigga called me, right? And so after the nigga called me and saying like, if like I'm about to go on the podcast and incriminate some niggas and all that type of shit, right? By bringing up some old shit, like I'm on some rat shit. You get what I'm saying? So after I contemplated and sat back and got pissed, the next day I couldn't hold it in.
Yeah.
So I said, listen, here, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can't stand these bitch ass niggas, and you niggas ain't real enough to call me and say shit about what I do. You know what I'm saying? All what I done for the. So I made my video.
Before you go on, I asked you who that person was 18 years ago who called you and said, why would you say R.I.P. to Blade and R.I.P. to Wipeout in the same song with Chip You On type shit? And then when you fast forward, you made your video basically announcing that you were available for podcasting. And then you received some backlashing about what you said in terms about telling the stories.
I guess the clickbait. I guess the clickbait. The claw was about the clickbait.
Right, the clickbait.
Because I ain't say nothing wrong, but the clickbait is what.
Now this is where this get funny at, and Jesse James, he playing a dangerous game. Well, I guess it ain't dangerous because he obviously willing to deal with what comes with it. But bro, the clickbait part. If I'm reacting to this video, if I put some shit in there like Jesse James told Dawgface fuck off, and I know that ain't happened, but I put that in the title. However Dawgface feel about that, or however even Jesse feel about that, I gotta deal with that. I can't just say some shit to pull people in about real life folks and then not understanding that they have a disagreement with that or they not feeling that. That's not realistic. Damn, Jesse.
Right. And so the clickbait is what did it. And then there was a video, a verse that dropped on Streetlord Juan's page.
No, first it was a post trying to belittle a nigga talking about, you know, because I said I want to get paid, tell my story. I'm coming on these podcasts, had that cash, I'm coming. Set shit on fire. So this nigga decides to take it upon himself and say, yeah, well, my life story ain't for sale, but you could buy theirs.
Who said that?
Juan.
Okay. And you took that as a slight to you?
Most definitely. I'm the only one that just came out talking about doing podcasts and shit and getting running some money up off of that shit, off of telling my story and my side of the Streetlord story.
But why take it personal if you said some of this? And this is why when I stopped it earlier and I said he should have never made that statement about running up the money or people getting paid that ain't really did nothing, because then it makes you look away. And a lot of us get involved in this internet and we totally forget how we may be making ourselves look away. And he has made himself look away.
Okay, and so that's what inspired you to come back with the response when you said, hey.
No. And then after that, another nigga called me and said, you see this? And when I see this, it's a video with my voice in the beginning and a video of some faggot shit, some paperwork, some rat shit, Takashi shit, a bunch of cars getting shot up with yellow tape and all kind of shit, bro.
So how did you feel? Did you took that as a, bro, based on what just happened the last 48 hours, bro, this is some shit you obviously aiming at me because you wasn't doing this kind of shit.
You got my voice on there. So
did you feel some type of way? Obviously you did.
Most definitely I did. So I felt that you should have did a remix and you left out a lot of shit that you's a bitch.
Now it is a very unpopular thing to talk about Streetlord Juan in that way. Are you sure you don't want to take that back? Because I don't want to see. Listen. Because Juan is like hip hop royalty. So are you. But Juan has a cult following.
Ain't nobody bigger than the program.
So you ain't want to take it back?
Not take it back, nigga. The nigga made a video and a song referencing me to a fag, a rat, and murder. Nigga. You get what I'm saying?
Streetlord Juan is Detroit rap royalty because as a label, he put out more artists than everybody else. He put out more albums than everybody else. It's only one Detroit label, well, we excluding Motown. It's only one Detroit label that put out more music than him, and that's Real Life Productions, which is Esham, the first independent rapper to go platinum. Not only did Streetlord Juan, not only did he put out more rappers, he was the most approachable street lord. Period. He was the most approachable street lord. He was a real sweatpants type nigga. He might have 20, 30, 40, 100,000 in them sweatpants, but he was a real sweatpants. My hair may not be braided ass nigga. Blade was a star, man. I remember he had brought Be Legit and motherfucking E40 to the mall, but I had only seen Be Legit. And I was thrown off by seeing Be Legit. And I kind of looked past Blade a little bit. It wasn't intentional. And boy, Blade says he didn't like get mad or nothing like that. He wasn't like that. He was a good-hearted dude too, but he was damn sure like, hold on. You ain't getting Blade's autograph either? Be Legit had already signed my hat. I'm like, damn, he put on there stay up, like, you know. But it was no disrespect to Blade, man, but I'm kind of wishing I didn't watch this goddamn interview. Them two niggas don't need to be beefing. Streetlord Juan get the respect he get because he was the most approachable street lord. Just period. Even though he had money, he might be in the Bentley, whatever. He was like a real regular dude. That ain't to say the rest of them wasn't regular shit. Jesse James was motherfucking thugged out 24/7. You know what I'm saying? He might have been every now and again. I don't know that personally, but that's word on the street here and there. Not everywhere, but you getting money, you might, some niggas sniff pussy, some niggas sniff a little cocaine, man. But shit.
Right, I got you.
So take what? Take it back. Luckily, I love the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I could just vent and say what I need to say, and that be done with it, and I wouldn't want to see nothing past that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I do appreciate that. This is why he didn't have to do no clickbait. His normal story would have been great. And you see how he's just like, yeah, man, but I love the guy. So y'all just having a brotherly disagreement and all of that, man, but shit. Okay, I gotta explain something. Now y'all heard him call him the B word, right? Now in Detroit, them niggas close enough or been close enough to have to got into it and be able to use that word. But it takes a closeness to it. Now, if they didn't have a relationship and he called him a bitch, that would have been fighting words, Like when Brick Baby called, well, not Brick. Shit, he's not the real Brick Baby. God damn it. When MPA Shit Show called my man's Nina a bitch, that was out of pocket. He might have to see him behind that.
Right.
But I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Like, first of all, nigga, you's a bitch. Don't you ever think, nigga, that it's a nigga alive that can breathe in and out their mouth that can go that I wouldn't slide on and give it to.
Got you. Tuned into the best Dawgface TV live on YouTube. Original Streetlord. If somebody said that you were not Streetlord official, what would you say to them?
If it weren't for me, it wouldn't be no Streetlord, so that could be impossible.
That got to be true too, because if I ain't mistaken, Blade and them went to Ford, and Ford is on like 8 Mile or some shit like that. But them niggas would be over there on Joy Road. That's a fact.
Got you.
And they old school.
The general public, man, they've never heard with any detail. They haven't heard from any members of the Streetlords, any members of the Cheddar Boys. I think you were the first one who were from that legendary class of MCs and street niggas who actually came on a podcast. I mean, one of the main ones. You had other people do podcasts. I think G-Rock or Rook did a couple of podcasts. I think it was Rook. I think it was. But you at the highest level of Streetlord, right? How do you feel about the Detroit hip hop scene right now? We got a lot of emotion going on, man.
We do got a lot of motion, and that's why what he doing is something he shouldn't be doing. Should he be telling this story? Yeah, he should. Should he be going at Juan? Nah. They shouldn't be going at each other. So I can't say one is more right or one is more wrong. If Juan disrespected him, man, this shit, I don't like this shit. I don't think it's cool. I can't tell them what they should or shouldn't do. I personally probably might have cut some of this out of my interview. I can't be mad at Dawgface either. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at nobody involved. I can't be mad at Juan. I can't be mad at Jesse. I can't be mad at Dawgface, but I do wish they didn't do exactly what they doing, what he did right now. You know what I'm saying? Streetlord Juan is a respected Detroit music industry factor outside of Detroit. That isn't to say Dawgface isn't either. But for the bureaucracy part of how the music industry works, being able to stand behind or on side of a Streetlord Juan alleviate a whole lot of bullshit. I mean, being able to stand on the side of a Dawgface alleviate a lot of bullshit. All of these men are in position to help the next generation. I don't think none of them should be taken away from each other. Like we all know, look at all the work, blood, sweat, and tears they put in, and nobody got a deal out of that. So they already know how hard it's been for us. I'm a little disheartened. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Dawgface. I'm not about to say nothing bad about the interview. It's pretty entertaining. I hope y'all fuck with my commentary. I hope I shot it straight down the line like 6 o'clock. I ain't taking no sides in this shit. Detroit is Detroit, and I'm an interloper. Some of y'all may not know what that means, but I'm gonna tell you what it means. An interloper is a Detroiter that survives on both sides, that lives and breathes on both sides, that moves around on both sides. I don't like when we do this to each other. We all still willing to fist fight each other. So if we're all willing to have a fist fight, then nothing, no problem that we have outside of somebody violating that got to be called out and brought to the front. Do we have to do this? We don't need clickbait. This is motherfucking Detroit. And we've been making money from no money for the past 60, 70 years. Us black people kept this city afloat when the population went under 300,000 in a city that's built for over 2 million. And if we were able to keep this city afloat for a whole lot of years before we filed bankruptcy with them population issues, and now we in this position, shit like this ain't supposed to be happening. Damn sure not between them two. And Big Sean being 100 gave Streetlord Juan the respect that some of these other CEOs that sold a lot more records got. Maybe it was deserving, maybe it was undeserving. Whether you feel like him as an individual deserved their respect or not, don't matter. But the city deserved somebody representing the hood and the business getting that respect. And he was one of the only few people in a position to receive that, because we all know they wasn't giving it to Eshawn. And he deserved it the most. On that note, I ain't got nothing but love for everybody. I love my city. Shout out to you, Jesse. Shout out to you, Dawgface. Now, dog, you know, we don't always agree, but at the same time, I'm always on your side. I understand what you did. I understand what you're doing. And it ain't just because my name Juan. Streetlord Juan is a cool nigga, man. Like, period. That nigga, I know a bunch of different people he did nice things for in passing. Like, fuck being able to say somebody a gangster or a thug or any of that shit. I know this dude is intelligent, and I know he got a big heart, and I know he decent. You know what I'm saying? And that's just from the interactions of people who I know and myself who's ran across him. I remember when them pink Tims came out and Drummer had stole some of them joints. And anyway, the nigga let me get a pair of shoes that he had basically ordered for his chick. I felt like that was real. You know, them pink Tims was a hot commodity in Detroit, especially for the ladies, you know. And my bitch had her pair on that first day. That meant a lot. He ain't have to do that. On top of other shit I seen him do for other people. Him doing business with Drummer like that, because he would be buying shoes that he didn't need to from Drummer. Help Drummer get his first round of equipment, because Drummer was using other people's equipment and borrowing people's equipment. Some folks was weirdos. Some people had shit going on. It was all type of shit. So being able to have customers that was gonna fuck with him continuously, to whereas he could spend 300 or 400 on an MPC because he know people coming back to do business with him, that counted for a lot. You know, Jesse James bringing all them people getting money to his hood counted for a lot. You know, them down being able to get a pound for a few $100s, that shit counted for a lot. All of these guys did things for the city that counted for a lot. Dawgface, what he doing for all the younger artists, counts for a lot. We ain't gotta kick dirt on each other's shoes, man. We ain't gotta do that. Let them other cities do that shit. We ain't gotta like each other either. And we ain't gotta get along all the time and love each other. The Mexicans do it all the time. Them motherfuckers be hating each other, but they don't stop working together. It's just that simple. And we out. Speaking of my Mexicans, I'm not fluent, but I speak a little Spanish. And one time, my man's Keon was renovating a house or trying to get some plumbing did, and some Mexicans had got the house next door. The whole house needed to be redid. I'm talking everything was fucked up. It was for a man and a wife. But we seeing all these different men come over. It was one brother that did the siding, one that did the roof, one that did the plumbing, one that did the electrical. They may not have all been brothers. And then the guy that married the lady, he had a trade too. He put the inside together. Them motherfuckers did not like him. That was their sister, their cousin, that was her husband. They didn't like him. But the whole family showed up to do their part to put that house together. And he paid them. Just that simple. They don't even live in that house no more. They rented that joint out. But look at what they was able to do for themselves and use that house as a starter house. Like, we could do the same shit. Real simple. Real simple. We out, man. Good interview, fellas. Goddamn, Jesse. It is. That's his number one stuff. It is what it is. And then about the whole saying RIP Wipeout, I will add this in. I didn't necessarily understand that shit because we all knew him and Blade had a couple fights. We all knew he had got killed, you know what I'm saying? And we all knew some of the people that did what they did to Blade was connected to him. So to hear Blade's man say that without the background of knowing, hey, I'm the one that brought all these together, it was a little off-putting, especially on one of the most jamming albums of that time. Because when that It Is What It Is dropped and that Blaze Say What Up, them was jams. Them was cuts. Them was cuts, man. And then the streets expected Jesse James to be on Tough Tone's ass. Just by their ways in the crew, you know, the names, you know what I'm saying? But then hearing him telling this story, I'm guessing Tough Tone wasn't the one that shot Blade. Because Tough Tone was out of jail for them to do that album unless he went to jail in between time and nigga, but then he would have already knew who Tough Tone was. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just like, it's kind of distasteful because I've heard stories about all of these different guys that I could just throw in this video, but would it be worth it for me to say it? Not really. Not really at all, you know? Not really at all. And I ain't gonna just throw that in there. Now, if somebody get in the comments or somebody asks me a direct question, I guess I'll answer it. But for me to just sit here and tell you unnecessary truths to destroy or make a situation work or destroy somebody's character, I ain't gonna indulge in that right now tonight. We out this bitch, y'all.